and down and left and right. How can anyone survive this track? Find out more right here, right now. Greetings petrolheads and welcome to romrom.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing and to It's a Mod world where we test different mods for different sims to see if they add to our enjoyment. Thanks for watching, my name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. Trained Monkey Modding is not only a cool name, it's also the name of a very interesting Czech mod maker group that publishes vehicle and track mods for Assetto Corsa. I always wanted to test a mod from them, and so today I'm racing their Sachsenring, which is a conversion from a mod from R-Factor 2 made by renowned mod maker Digga. You'll find below a link to the mod in our website as well as a link to the starting page on their website. Check it out because they have very good, very interesting mods. Let's take a look at the track while you train pronouncing it Sachsenring. While by no means badly done with regards to graphics, I found the track somewhat antiseptic, too clean and maybe even plasticky. But this may come from the conversion from R-Factor 2 and the different way Assetto Corsa has to show graphics. Or it's just my way of seeing it because, as I said, the graphics are not bad at all. Sachsenring. The force feedback is good enough to feel what the car is doing, and the track shows its allegiance to MotoGP by having excellent curves and very interesting parts, which I'm sure are especially interesting to motorbike fans. It's already pretty difficult on four wheels, I can't imagine how tasking it may be for bike pilots. On the other hand, the curves don't stop this track from having a great flow, but be prepared to sweat your way into learning this track. This is one of the most difficult tracks I've driven on, and up to a point comparable with Algarve. This is in part because of the curves, in no less a part because of the altitude differences and the blind apexes. Apices? Whatever, you know what I mean. Driven correctly, it's quite a fast track where you have to brake at the right moment and in the right intensity for many corners. Let me show you. Sachsenring. Let me start by saying that the exit of the pits is already epic, and I can imagine many drivers having encounters here. But let's forget about that for now and move on to the track lap. We start at the start and end straight, and the first corner is already a 180, and check the exit of the pits to the left. Forget Monza and the chicane, I foresee many pilots landing in different parts of the gravel on the very first lap. This 180 is followed by a long left, but don't let that trick you, because all of a sudden, behind a blind apex, the corner tightens up and you're in OO land, which we're going to visit a lot in this specific track lap. So much you may want to start writing postcards from there. And just as you have survived that one, there's a doubly apexed 180 that of course goes uphill and ends in a blind apex left. Take a small breath in the very short straight, you're going to need it. So the straight, to call it something, ends in a left that seems to be starting a long left but tightens up the moment you have had that thought, so don't think it. For once, you will be able to let go a little, as after that tightening you do end up in a long left that opens up even further, and it may be the closest you will get to relaxing. And it keeps that way a while. Modulate your throttle to move through the series of left corners, but once you've done this part of the track once or twice, you should get the hang of it, unlike most other parts. Now, see that bridge? If you haven't started braking before that bridge, you're visiting OO land once again, because the next left uphill will rush by like the life before your eyes and you'll be in the gravel. So brake at an opportune place before the bridge to be able to take that left and the short straight that follows it. Say you for once survive that pitfall, enjoy the straight, but be wary of the next blind apex to the left. While you won't be off track if you miss it, and there is even tarmac there instead of gravel for once, you still will lose some time and most importantly will be on the completely wrong racing line for the next part of the track. Very important is that at the apex of the curve to the right, the track steeply goes downhill, which may put you in the wrong place with regards to the track, your fellow racers, and even track limits depending on where you are. Yeah, a jump on the apex of a curve, because this track is otherwise completely easy to drive and they had to spice it up. Oof. Again, say you survive this one. Now you're downhill on a longish straight. Don't enjoy the straight too much, as the next left-hander is already in front of you, tight and uphill. Brake soon enough or it's OO land all over again, as the gravel will welcome you and try to keep you. Have you finished your postcard yet? What? You survived that one too? Count yourself lucky then, as there's only a long-ish uphill straight, followed by a soft left-hander, and you are back in the start and end straight. Yeah, that's one lap you've survived. Let's see how the next goes. Oh, and Sachsenring. As you can imagine, racing is very intense here. It helps that the AI line is very good, and the AI makes it difficult but not impossible for you to get and keep a good position. I had tons of fun in my races against the AI, and I can imagine racing here to be similar to racing in Bathurst or Monza. It can become a race of attrition, although the wide run-out spaces mean more that you lose time and less that your car is toast easily. Have you learned pronouncing it already? Good. One last time. Sachsenring. It took me very long to wrap my mind around this circuit. It has a ton of corners and strong altitude differences. It took me longer than Misano, which was already difficult to memorize. You'll have to remember the corners, the altitude, won't be able to see some of the apexes, thingies, and often enough not the corner after the next, and you will struggle trying to get into the rhythm of the track, get into the flow. To say that it was tasking would be an understatement, but as with similar tracks, when you get one lap right, it's exhilarating. All in all, it's a fun, taxing, difficult track that will test your skills to the limit. This is clearly a track for experienced drivers, as anybody else would easily enter a path into eternal doom. A path of eternal joy lays in our videos. Find it by checking the playlist to the left or the video to the right. Until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other on the podium.
Visit romrom.net to connect to fellow sim racers and sim racing fans.